Running initially wasn't an activity that I really enjoyed. I wasn't very good at it, I didn't really have a lot of stamina, I certainly couldn't run long distance, but the more that I did it, obviously got fitter myself from years of being unwell. Whenever I realised how many miles my body could run, I just loved that feeling of being fit and strong, so I just wanted to go further and further. I started to be unwell whenever I was about 9, so it was the summertime then of 2000, whenever I was 10, that I was eventually diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I had my first surgery when I was 13. You know, I did sort of get a bit better, but it wasn't anything like what normal health should be, so eventually when I was 16 I had my entire colon removed, so I now have an ileostomy on the right hand side of my body. Today is the 2nd of August. It's about 2 months to go now until the London Marathon, which is very exciting. I'm currently self-isolating, unfortunately. So today's 5k run consisted of about 80 laps of the house and garden, and I'm definitely looking forward to having something a bit more scenic to run to when isolation ends. A couple of years ago, I was in London just by chance on the day that the marathon was, and seeing the crowds, it was absolutely amazing. It was such a good atmosphere, and it's one of the majors as well, so to do it is a real privilege. I've probably entered the ballot for it every year since maybe 2014. So whenever I was told this year that I got a ballot entry, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I always thought it was a bit of a pipe dream, so to actually be doing it just feels a bit surreal. Today is the 5th of August and the official end of my self-isolation period. Vinnie and I are out for a quick stretch down some Devon country lanes. Unfortunately, my grandmother passed away last week, so because of my self-isolation, I wasn't able to go to her funeral. So today's run, although it's drizzly and grey, it's providing me with some time outdoors in nature and some much needed headspace. When I'm out running, there's so many different thoughts that go through my head. If I've had a really rubbish day, a long run can really clear my mind, where I don't really think about anything, just go out and enjoy myself and being in nature. It depends where I am as well. Where I live at the moment, the scenery is spectacular, and just taking that in is really all you need. Today is August 7th and it's in the weeks now coming up to the marathon where I start to ramp up the distance for my longer training runs. So I've been running now for about 2 hours. It's absolutely lashed down for all of it. I'm absolutely soaking and just hope that it's not like this on event day. Crohn's disease is sort of typically described as ulceration and inflammation of the digestive system. I was quite unfortunate in that every single part seemed to be impacted. You know, I was on a liquid feed diet over the winter and my consultant had said that I could have a small amount of Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. I didn't even want it. You know, what person doesn't want their Christmas dinner? Today is the 9th of August and I'm out in Dartmoor just out on a trail run. I'm feeling pretty tired. My bag leaked during the night, so I didn't really sleep all that well, but knew that getting up and about and a bit of fresh air would make me feel so much better. Today is the 25th of August. It's about 22 degrees outside today, so as someone who was brought up mostly in Ireland, this feels very warm to be going for a run. As well as that, I've got my hernia belt on too, so this extra layer definitely isn't helping in terms of this heat. But I slept all the way through the night last night. That's quite a rare occurrence for me. I generally wake up once or twice throughout the night to go to the bathroom, so it's made a big difference to how I feel today. I feel like I've got loads of energy and looking forward to this run. There's definitely been a lot more awareness about invisible illnesses in general. I mean, I didn't know what a colostomy bag was when I was 13. I am aware of a lot of people who have had quite negative experiences, like being asked to leave swimming pools, being confronted whenever they're using a disabled toilet. I mean, it's really humiliating. This is the problem, like when you don't look sick, I mean, it's really hard to explain to people how crippling your day can be if you can't get to a bathroom in 45 seconds. People just make the worst assumptions about you sometimes. Today's the 27th of August. It's about 7:45 in the morning and I've just finished up with a swim before work. So all the while I've been training for the marathon, I've been incorporating other activities as well. and this will overall make me a more efficient runner too. So I'm just about to finish up and enjoy coffee and breakfast on the beach. Today's the 31st of August and I'm feeling pretty terrible this morning. I was put paid to the 45-minute run I'd been hoping to do this afternoon. The marathon's in 33 days now, so any sort of injury or sickness from this point onwards, you don't really have a lot of recovery time. So here's fingers crossed for a speedy recovery. I am quite lucky. My condition seems to be managed very well by the surgery that I had, but you know, there's still things that I have to think about. People with ostomies are typically more prone to dehydration. I would have a slight fear of it leaking during the race because I wouldn't carry extra supplies with me while I'm running, but fingers crossed, it hasn't happened yet. Today's the 6th of September and I'm just about to enter Dartmoor National Park on the bike. It's not even 11 a.m. in the morning. Been cycling for half an hour and I'm absolutely drenched in sweat. So it'll be a good day out, but I'm finding it really tough already. Signing up for a triathlon that's the week before London Marathon probably wasn't the smartest decision I've ever made. But I wanted to do one for a while, and where this one's located quite close to my house, so it seemed kind of ideal to ease me into the triathlon world. I don't know, I'm still a bit unsure. I definitely had a glass of wine when I signed up for it. Today's the 26th of September and it's the day of the triathlon. So it's about 6 in the morning now. And I'd like to say that I'm up and about because I'm getting ready for the event, but in reality my bag actually leaked. So I feel a bit unsettled now, which is a shame. I'm already a bit nervous anyway because I've never done this type of event before, but there's nothing I can do about it. That was an amazing experience. I was a bit hesitant at the start. The swim was a bit chaotic. It's termed as the washing machine, and it's definitely like that at the start. I got a few kicks in the head. It probably was my least favourite bit, but once that was out of the way, like, the atmosphere is just so friendly. There's just so much like banter and chat between everyone. I haven't really had that in other events I've done, so yeah, I really enjoyed myself. People don't really like talking about bathroom stuff or poo. And the problem with that then is that they don't really understand it. I did my first public post about having a stoma bag in 2020, and you know, I hovered on that post button for, I'm not joking, probably about half an hour. I was really nervous. A lot of people who I'm quite close to didn't know. There's never really an opportunity to bring this up. I got such a good response and so many people came to me and said, oh, I had no idea, but this family member of mine has a bag. And it was really touching that people were telling me this, because like, a lot of people don't like to talk about it. You know, social media wasn't so much of a thing whenever I was younger, but there's still, you know, magazines you look through, people that you aspire to be or to look like, and I never saw anybody who represented me. So that's one of the great things about social media now, is the amount of people that you can connect with. The odds are that you know someone who has this if you don't have it yourself. The marathon's about 4 days away now, so this will be one of the last runs that I do. Thought I'd just do a loop on my lunch break. So decided, why not make it a good one? Today's the 2nd of October, it's the day before the marathon, and I've just done my lateral flow test. That's come through as negative, which is ideal. A bit nervous there whenever I was waiting for that. While I was waiting though, I was looking at the marathon route, and they've got toilets at basically every mile, which is amazing. But now that that's come through, I'm off now on a very short run just to stretch my legs and pick up my bib. When I was at my worst health-wise, aged 15, admitted to hospital and became critically ill, there was a considerable chance that I wouldn't make it. So to support of something that's so personal to me is just a feeling that I don't know how to describe. It's been a really long journey since I was diagnosed, and I'm just so glad to still be here. I'm in the pen area now waiting to start with my wave time. As soon as I got in, I got in the queue for the Portaloos. I was there for about 45 minutes and immediately had to come to the start of my wave. So it's a bit, definitely not a lot of time to spare. It's pretty chilly as well, so I'm wearing this bin bag so I can just put it in the bin whenever I start. But yeah, a little bit nervous, but it's such a good atmosphere right here. It's a huge mental challenge to keep on going for so long. So having people out on the streets, not even people that you necessarily know, but just people there cheering, clapping for you. Everybody's rooting for you on the day. And it's amazing having complete strangers support you in something.
There she is.
Do you know what? I don't know what I was expecting, but it's, yeah, it's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna head on. See you soon.
Yeah.
Good luck. You're doing amazing.
Hey Laura.
If things get tough on the day, one thing that'll really push me on is the fact that I'm doing this for charity. The money that I'm raising for a charity that I think is so worthwhile and that I really believe in is something that I think will keep me going even if I'm really physically struggling. The last 18 months has been quite a financially challenging time for a lot of people, and the fact that people have been so incredibly generous, like people that don't even know me as well, you know, you don't want to disappoint them. I just finished and literally about 5 minutes later the heavens have opened. So I'm on my way now to the hotel where the Crohn's and Colitis charity have set up a little post-marathon celebration. But I think I'm going to be a bit wet by the time I get there. I don't even know what to say about today. It was amazing. It's the week after the London Marathon now, and I'm out on a trail run in Dartmoor, debuting my finisher t-shirt for the first time, so a very proud moment. It's been really interesting doing this film and reflecting on my running journey with Crohn's and having a bag. It's not something I've really thought much about before, but I love challenging myself and seeing what my body can do, because for so many years I just wasn't capable of that much. Life is short, and if you want to try something you have to go for it. So I'm really excited this weekend to be doing a 50k event. I'm really psyched for it, and you know, as long as I have my health, who knows what's next.